This Jewish American journalist was fired after criticizing Israel.
There's a lot of pressure against being critical of Israel, so people don't want to expose that. There are probably people who are very happy that I was fired and canceled.
Katie Halper says she got an email conveying she didn't need to return to work after she sent in her first monologue for the Hill TV's show Rising. In it, she explained why progressives who support Israel aren't actually progressive. She began by discussing a phrase used by Palestinian Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib last month.
I want you all to know that among progressives, it has become clear that you cannot claim to hold progressive values, yet back Israel's apartheid government.
Some liberals condemn this statement as outrageous and anti-Semitic. These figures include CNN host Jake Tapper, director of the civil rights group the Anti-Defamation League Jonathan Greenblatt, and Democratic Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Halper, in turn, called their attacks outrageous.
There is a phenomenon called PAP, Progressive Except on Palestine. It's very useful for them to portray critics of Israel as anti-Semites because then you get to dismiss what's legitimate criticism based on human rights, a concern with human rights, as anti-Semitic.
She says it's important for her to use her platform to speak out against Israel's actions, because people need to know that Jewish people are not a monolith.
You'll hear some Jews saying, "Not in my name." They don't say that they're being oppressed, but that's kind of what the implicit argument is.
Halper says progressive Jewish people need to recognize there can be no exceptions when it comes to caring about human rights.
I could move to Israel today, buy a house, get a job, travel around with no problem. So could Jake Tapper and Jonathan Greenblatt. But a Palestinian like Rashida Tlaib can't even visit her family home in what is now Israel.
The employer who fired her was bought by Nexstar Media Group last year, which is the largest local broadcast television group in the country. Months before Halper's firing, Nexstar hired a deputy managing editor at its cable channel News Nation, who has advocated for Israel to build more illegal settlements.
One thing I'm hopeful about is that maybe because I expose them, they're going to feel some pressure to let people criticize Israel, just so that they can kind of try to shed their image.
Nexstar declined to comment to AJ+.
I thought it was, I'd been critical of Israel during my segments several times, so I was really shocked.